Hi everyone! So today I wanted to share with you guys how I reorganize these two chunks of some 18-inch doll clothes that Colleen and I have. I get asked pretty often to make a video of me reorganizing or cleaning things because I think if you watch my videos regularly then it's pretty clear that I love to organize and I love to clean stuff, and I'm pretty good at it. I would say it's one of my strong points in life. So these clothes in these two trunks are for 18-inch dolls like American Girl, but they're not like our authentic American Girl items, so the ones made by like Mattel and Pleasant Company. And the reason they're kind of separated out is because we don't really use them a lot these days, just because we had more of like this stuff growing up than the real American Girl things. And as adults, we really just enjoy displaying them in the expensive fancy clothes. But since we got a My Life As doll and Our Generation doll over a month ago now, we definitely probably will be using these things more. A lot of these things don't actually fit American Girl super well anyways. They're like a little bit too small. But it's nice to have these because they're sentimental items. I have been through both of these before, but that was a few years ago, and when I went in here to dress Dolly and Pearl, I realized that it was kind of messy. So I guess I'm going to show you how I go about reorganizing and what kind of steps I take. So this is an Our Generation trunk from the early 2000s, and this is a handmade trunk that my dad got at the town dump when I was a kid. It kind of looks like Kirsten's real trunk, but it's not. So I'll move you guys in closer. So the first thing that I like to do is see what I have, and I guess make piles. So this right here is all stuff that goes to my Our Generation horses that I kept, as is this bag, and this is Colleen's dog she named Lady. This was a Christmas gift. So I'm just going to make piles of things. And I'm also going to take all the clothes off the hangers. Now, I have washed these items before, but I will be double checking and seeing if anything needs to be cleaned again. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to this trunk. So it's a little bit broken. So I have a huge pile of stuff now on the floor. I have it kind of broken into categories. Please excuse Oliver. We have the pile of dresses and things. Oh, and this is embarrassing. So this is something, Oliver, really tacky, I made for my Kia doll as a kid when I was 12, and it's literally one piece. Stop it. And I made these tacky beads for it, and then this is something else I made for my Samantha doll. Again, this is one piece. Stop it. Stop it! Hey! Stop. That I made for my Samantha doll, and it's hideous. I just keep these because I made them. But yes, dresses or one-piece items, these are separates, and these are all coats and robes. Then these are accessories, hair things, shoes, and these are hats and gloves and diapers and socks. So that's what I have so far. So the next order of business is I want to wipe out all of these shelves and the drawers and just clean everything up. And I also want to clean in here because there are little bits of debris. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use regular furniture polish for this. And I also want to point out that you can see here I have a piece of cardboard taped down, and that's because this is actually an open window. So it's really important if you're going to store stuff in doll trunks or anything with an open window, that depending on where you store it, you might not want to keep that open. So this is in our basement, and even though our basement is mostly finished, we have carpeting and the walls are mostly paneled, it does it can get dusty, and sometimes a spider or a bug or something will crawl into the doll stuff. We don't really have a problem with mice because of the cats, but just in case we did, I feel it's better to have it blocked off to prevent that from happening. That's why I just used a piece of cardboard I've done like similar things before with like stuff I store like doll shoes in. It's just good to keep in mind. Okay, so now that everything has been wiped down, the outside, the inside of both of these things, I have to decide, because I have so many things, I didn't realize how many things I had, what I'm realistically like actually going to potentially use versus what I'm keeping just for sentimental reasons. So like obviously these hideous outfits that I made, I'm not gonna use and put on my dolls because they're just really ugly. So I'm gonna make piles of that, so I can realistically put what I'm gonna use most of the time in here. And then I've decided that because of the way this is set up, that I'm just gonna put like the accessories and the stuff that I'm realistically not gonna use in here. I also have a lot of like these items that my grandmother made when we were kids, and I'm going to, because there's so many duplicated pieces, pick out the nicest ones to put in here and then put the extras in there. So I think that's like a really good idea, is to make the things that you're realistically going to use more accessible and also like in the better spot, so these things can be hung up and folded nicely. And then the things that maybe you're not going to use as often or you're keeping just for sentimental reasons can go in the slightly less accessible place. I mean, obviously it's just as safe to store things in here, it's just more inconvenient because you have to like lift up the tray and pull a million things out. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll check in with you guys when I'm done doing it. Okay, so I have re-piled things. So this pile over here is the stuff that I'm definitely not going to be using much, if at all, that I'm keeping just for sentimental reasons. So it's just some like handmade capes, duplicated nighties, and things that I made as a kid. And then I also took note of some things that I think need to be washed again because they're really grungy, and these are also things that I'm probably not going to use very often. Basically, now I've got to figure out what it is that I want to use the most so it gets the best real estate on this hanging bar, because honestly, like, not all of this stuff is going to fit in this trunk. So that's what I'm going to do now. And to help me, I brought up one of my drawers of American Girl hangers. Some of these are like wire hangers, but most of these are real American Girl hangers. We have tons of them, and since we bag most of our American Girl clothes and we only hang up a few, I have like tons of hangers. I have a whole nother drawer of them, so that's what I'm going to start doing. I've kind of got the layout figured out, and something that I did was, even though there's a few things I need to wash, like this dress and two of the nightgowns, I'm just seeing how everything fits all together. So once I have it all organized, then I'm going to pull these things out and wash them so that the space is already made. So the next thing I have to do is I want to keep like the shoes I have in here in these little cubbies, and any like hats and things that I'm going to use regularly. I think I'm just going to start from like the bottom and put shoes in. I'm going to work on this trunk. I'm going to take the tray out, and these are all the clothes that I'm realistically not going to use. I could fit a few more things in here, but I'm going to leave the empty slot. So I'm just going to put these in. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. I have the laundry pile, so some of these things are going to go in here and some of them are going to go in here. We have all the stuff that I want in these trunks in the trunks. This is some hair stuff that I found, and I'm probably just going to put it on my styling head downstairs, where I keep my other American Girl hair accessories. This is actually a ticket stub that Colleen and I had when we went to a boat show with our parents as kids in 2001. This is very old. I had one too. We took Felicity and Molly to this boat show when we were kids, and I think Colleen's going to want to save this, so I'm going to put it in her memory box for her. These are the bags that I took some outfits out of. I'm going to reuse them for things. And then this is just stuff I'm going to donate. Those are like real knit baby clothes that I saved, but I don't think they're going to work for Bitty Baby because they're too bulky. some hangers that are just made with really cheap wire that or like plastic that I'm just gonna like recycle this and throw those out. And the last thing I really want to do is put some dryer sheets around in this case, just like a few in random areas, just to like kind of deter rodents and things. So I'm just washing the clothes. This is cold water, and I put a little bit of OxyClean in here so that the stains would come out. Like I said, I've washed all the items before in that trunk, but some of them probably just needed a little extra TLC. Alright, so everything is done except those clothes needed to be washed and put back, but for the sake of the video, this is done. So you can see everything's really clean. Before, some of these cubbies were kind of like dusty, but now they're clean, and also like the smell of the cleaner will kind of help deter any like bugs or anything from wanting to come in. So hanging up, I have some of like the bulkier dresses that don't fold as well. And I did keep one hair accessory in here. I just tied it around the top of this hanger because it's made from the same fabric as this cat dress. And I put like the bulkier coats. And in theory I could put stuff on the bottom here if I wanted, like shoes, if I ran out of space. That's a dryer sheet. And then over here we have like the two outfits that have matching pieces. So these are pajamas. This is a Biddy baby outfit. These are the two homemade ponchos we have for Biddy and Molly that match. And then in this drawer, this is all of like the cute little separates. This shirt I actually got on my Samantha doll named Bethan at the Salvation Army. It's super cute. And then in this drawer down here, I have some of the jumpers. These are like smaller jumpers. This one's really bulky, and I kept their shirts tucked in them so I know what goes to what. And then in here I have like pants and a skirt. This is a small dress, and then these are two homemade nighties. And you can see I kind of have them rolled up because that's how I like store Colleen's clothes in here. I roll them so you can see what things are without having to make a mess. Then we have some empty space for new stuff. These are hats and like a headband, socks and mittens. These are all slippers, and then these are just the spare pairs of shoes. And then in here, this is just like the smaller loose accessories. Then I have my two bags of horse stuff, and then the rest of it is just those extra clothes and stuffed animals and Molly's pet dog. And everything closes nicely. That's really important to like make sure everything closes. And I will eventually, instead of using dryer sheets, I am planning on switching everything over to potpourri. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really glad that these things are finally organized because I've been meaning to do it for a while. And I hope that the American girls approve. I think they're happy. So thanks for watching, and until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.